Anthony Joshua's like Humpty Dumpty, sitting on the wall. But when he falls off, he smashes a million bits, and no one can put him all back together again. Because once a fight like that, his confidence has been dashed, then you can never rebuild. Because when you think you're unbeatable, and you get done, smoked, shit, bum city. And like I always say, he's nothing but a pumped-up weightlifter. And when I get in the ring with him, I'll show you all how good I am. I will play with the bitch. He wouldn't land a blow on me. 100%. If he's Superman, then I'm definitely kryptonite. And I'd even say, I'd make it very interesting. I'd give him, for every power punch landed, power punch is anything but a jab. Yeah? I'd give him a 10 grand bonus for every one.
Wow. Those are the words of Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, in regards to Anthony Joshua. And this is his prediction, Tyson Fury's prediction of the Anthony Joshua fight. You heard the man. He said he will play with the bitch. Wow. He said that he's a pumped up body lifter. And if you look at his expression, he's talking as though he's dead serious, you know, like Tyson is one of those guys where if he's intended to say something to make other people laugh, everyone is going to be laughing except him. He has a type of personality where he doesn't mind people laughing at what he says, but he's not going to be laughing because he's the only one that's telling the truth when everybody's just thinking he's joking. Now, realistically, you know, what happened to Anthony Joshua June of 2019 was an eye-opener for a lot of people. You know, it was an opportunity for a lot of people to come in and to hate, okay? Come in and to criticize, okay? Not really critique, but criticize the fighter that all of a sudden got beat. And Tyson Fury states that, hey, you know, when you get beat by that, you're broken, you'll never come back. Well, if that's the case, to counterpunch Tyson Fury, I don't think that's relevant, because if that's the case, he wouldn't have done that, or he wouldn't have done anything like he done in the last two fights. Pulev probably would have figured him out. Pulev thought, hey, I have his number based on what Ruiz does. Ruiz thought he could do it again, but Ruiz, you know, underestimated Anthony Joshua because he did it the first time, okay? And I don't think Andy had too much of problems. Now, he was dropped the first time in his career, but, you know, when he hit Anthony Joshua, he thought, okay, this isn't easy at all. That's why he was allowed to say the things, or he was led to say the things that he said about Anthony Joshua. Robot, stiff, can't box, or really can't fight. Those are the things that Andy Ruiz started saying about Joshua when he beat Joshua. So, yes, this is Tyson Fury using what happened to Anthony Joshua is fuel, okay? But the problem with that is using someone else's victory for fuel for your own fight is a very dangerous thing to do, okay? Because the fuel that you're using, you don't own. In fact, Andy Ruiz, the fuel that he had, he no longer owned in that on another night. If you guys get what I'm saying, because if anybody could say, hey, I can beat Anthony Joshua because I'm the only one that did it, so I can do it again. And if he couldn't do it again, mind you, or for the second time, let's state, how the hell is someone else, a totally different person, is going to use the fuel for someone else's victory? Counterpunch. That's the thing you need to ask yourself about this. See, everyone's saying, oh, he's broken, he's cracked, he's this, he's that, he's pumped up, he's just a bodybuilder. I don't see any bodybuilders that are golden Olympians. You know, I think at the end of the day, Tyson Fury, breaking down Anthony Joshua, saying that he won't land a punch, but you get belted by a jab with Deontay Wilder, even though Deontay Wilder is made to jab because of his long, oblong, lanky frame. He's meant to jab and keep you at the end of his punches. Someone like Anthony Joshua saying, well, hey, he'll never land a punch on me, and I'll give him a bonus for each power punch. Any punch beside a jab that he does, I'll give him a bonus for it because I know it won't be that many. That's how confident Tyson Fury was talking. Now, I think that's one of the most boastful, arrogant things that he could ever say. Why? Well, Wilder jabbed you in the face, and and it took him years to know how to throw a damn jab, right? Right. So, he had JDs before Mark Breland, but he's challenged as far as skill demonstration. Not going to even say skill set with Wilder, but I think Wilder just refuses to do the right shit. He's seen how it's like and what it's like to do the right thing. He just doesn't want to do it. But then yet, it's easy to say that when you haven't got in the ring with a fighter yet. However, you have. So, you mean to tell me a guy that you're going to give a bonus to, that you sparred with, that almost knocked you out, that gave you the business, that you guys went to war back and forth, that means that you, in a professional fight, won't get hit by the same guy? Listen, sparring is the cornerstone, backbone, foundation of a fight. Lennox Lewis sparred Mike Tyson a long time before they ever fought, like in the late 80s. They fought in the early 2000s. Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin fought 5 or 6 years ago before they ever fought. And they say Golovkin gave Canelo the business. Okay, and we know how the fights went. Okay? Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fought a very long time ago. Coming from a person that's been fighting all of his life, he should know the ins and outs by that time because he was already a professional. Anthony Joshua was an amateur. So you're going to allow a pumped up bodybuilder to almost knock you out, and then you go on record saying that. Then you go back on record saying that I bet you he won't hit me at all. I don't think that's a consistent pattern. Okay, I think that's way off. Because you said he almost knocked you out. If I had a chin like David Price, I would be. With an uppercut. You guys remember that? Right? That shit speaks all for itself. So him saying, hey, yeah, Anthony Joshua, I'll give him a bonus for each time. That just shows you how a person uses other people's fuel or sees other people's performance against Anthony Joshua, like Andy Ruiz, as a way to interpret what they can do to those fighters without being those fighters. That's the problem. And like I tell people, it's so easy to see someone get beat up and to say, hey, I can do that. But it's a totally different story when that person that you say that you can do that, when that push comes to shove, we then can see what you can really do. That's the significance of the Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua fight. But what I see here primarily is trash talk, mind games. These are the preliminaries, and it has just begun. If these guys ever fight, if they don't fight, you're still going to hear shit. But Tyson Fury knows. I mean, for both sides, because, Anthony Joshua's pumped up. He's talking a little shit, but he ain't nowhere near the level as Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. But I will say this. If Tyson Fury has improved that much, he has to show me. He has to show me that he can do what he said he's going to do against a guy that almost knocked him out. That was a fucking amateur that just started the sport of boxing. Okay? So that's going to show me like, hey, Gypsy King, you must have had to evolve over the years your damn self. But you have to ask yourself a question. How much has that other fighter involved? And I'm going to leave you guys with this. He says, hey, when you think you can't be beat, like Tyson Fury says, and then, you get beat, you crumble, and you never come back. That's something that I am curious to see if Tyson Fury can do. Take a loss and come back. Because as of now, the big three, as Lennox Lewis states, Joshua, Wilder, Fury, out of all three of them, two out of three rather, it's only one of those guys that showed me that they can take an L and properly come back to the sport. So let's see if Tyson Fury is one of those guys. If it now becomes 3 out of 3, will he be able to do exactly what he said that Anthony Joshua couldn't? Just leaving you guys with that. You guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's prediction on his fight with Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.